Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. Actually, haven't done a video in a couple of days. Feel compelled to do one tonight. So, that disastrous Trump CNN town hall. Oh my God. So the internet is just blowing up. I'm hearing and reading, people on Twitter, all over social media, really. Like, I am never watching CNN. Like, this was just a ratings thing. This was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. So, let me just play this. If you haven't seen it, it's just like a short, like a minute and a half response, 2 minutes from Anderson Cooper. Watch this, and I'll put this in the comment section too, like I always do.
Have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset that someone who attempted to destroy our democracy was invited to sit on a stage in front of a crowd of Republican voters to answer questions and predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie. And I get it. It was disturbing. It was disturbing to see and hear that person refer to a black law enforcement officer as a thug, an adjective he used many times to describe black men, and called Caitlin Collins, the moderator, nasty, which is what he calls any woman who stands up to him. It was disturbing to hear him speak so highly of QAnon conspirators and insurrectionists who assaulted police officers in our democracy on January 6th. And it was awful to hear him spread ridiculous lies about the election. And it was certainly disturbing to hear that audience, young and old, our fellow citizens, people who love their kids and go to church, laugh and applaud his lies and his continued defamation of a woman who, according to a jury of his peers, he sexually abused and defamed. As good a job as Caitlin Collins did trying to fact check him, it is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly.
That's exactly it.
Now, many of you think CNN shouldn't have given him any platform to speak, and I understand the anger about that, giving him the audience, the time, I get that. But this is what I also get. The man you were so disturbed to see and hear from last night, that man is the front runner for the Republican nomination for president.
Which is bonkers.
And according to polling, no other Republican is even close.
That's
That
true.
man you were so upset to hear from last night, he may be president of the United States in less than 2 years. And that audience that upset you, that's a sampling of about half the country.
That's right.
They are your family members, your neighbors, and they are voting. And many said they're voting for him. Now, maybe you haven't been paying attention to him since he left office. Maybe you've been enjoying not hearing from him, thinking it can't happen again. Some investigation is going to stop him. Well, it hasn't so far. So if last night showed anything, it showed it can happen again. It is happening again. He hasn't changed, and he is running hard. You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again. But do you think staying in your silo and only listening to people you agree with is going to make that person go away? Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset that someone who attempted to destroy our democracy.
Very powerful stuff. Always love Anderson Cooper. I remember when he first kind of came on the scene, he actually did a lot of weather stuff, like hurricanes and everything. I know he came from privilege, he's a rich guy, but the guy really works hard. So I think he like after 9/11, right? Remember Aaron Brown on CNN used to fill in, and then he really made it. So absolutely terrifying, beyond words, disturbing. What the hell is wrong with our country? You know what the thing is? The shock from people I know and people I interact with. It's like they just stay away from the guy. And when they saw this, they didn't realize how disgusting this person is. It is so beyond comprehension. How can, like, there are always nutty people, right? There are nut jobs who will fall for insane monsters, but like, it's it's just beyond comprehension how the appeal of this absolute monster, which is what he is. He is such a disgusting, lying, sociopathic scumbag. So that's it for now. I did a video a couple of days ago about how if the election were today that Trump would win. I mean, Biden's numbers are an all-time low, and forget about the Republican primary. It's history. DeSantis has no shot. I mean, Trump is almost 100% unless something happens crazy that we can't foresee. So this is what we're dealing with. So, by the way, I could see I've been watching um, this All in the Family, the greatest show ever. No question about it. This is actually season one. And by the way, just to let you know, it's not like, oh, I hate Republicans, whatever. I think Archie Bunker is like the most lovable guy. He's a bigot and all that, but there's a thing about him that's lovable. Donald Trump has nothing like this. Like it's the kind of like the views of, the bigotry and all that, but Donald Trump is hateful. He's a scumbag, a sleazy con artist, scumbag. And I just like what's more disturbing than who we know who he is just that people would vote for him. I just imagine that. Like we have to do whatever we can to keep this fucking animal from the White House. Okay, more to come. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here in Tabor Talk. Not a good day for me, too. My Yanks got crushed today by the Rays. It was an ugly, well, not an ugly game. It's just the Rays. The Yanks didn't, you don't want to hear this. My other channel. Anyway, peace, more to come.